Josie Montealegre, welcoming you once again to Constel English. In the previous episode, you learned about fiction and how to teach it effectively. This time, we shall take you to the exciting world of the drama. Today's episode will help your students better understand and appreciate this literary genre. What then is drama? Certainly, we know that like fiction, it is also a story. It is set in a particular place, at a certain time of day and year. It has characters whose objectives and behavior create events which, in turn, project meanings that the playwright wishes to communicate. The story of drama, however, is not told in the past tense as something that happened at a certain place and time. Dramatic stories are happening in the here and now. Therefore, drama is witnessed event. The story is suggested both by the conversation between the characters and their actions. Before we take a look at this from a play written by national artist Jose Garcia Villa entitled Mir Inisa, let's take a station break. Welcome back. Let's now watch the play Mir Inisa.
I love you, oh mouth of honey.
There's no honey in my mouth.
The whole of you is honey.
The whole of it's liar.
The whole of you is honey I would crush to my lips.
The whole of it's a talking machine.
But true. It is the truth you speak, oh beautiful rose of Allah.
And you? Why do you love me? Why do you love me?
I love you 3 times more than he loves you.
And you? Why do you love me?
I love you because you are young, because you are beautiful, because you are fair. You are the fairest among the fair of flower of Ismael.
Because she's young? Because she's beautiful? Because she's the fairest of the fair? Bah! Meaningless. Soap bubbles that have nothing but air in them. Mir Inisa, listen to me. I love you because of your quiet understanding of all the things I've done and will ever do.
I love you because you are gentle as the wind that blows to your hair. I love you because you are as bright as sunbeams caught in your dark hair. Because you are as exotic as a flower, deep-rooted upon a shallow grave.
Now stop! Stop your meaningless patter, Ahmed. And you too, Tasmi. Wait here. I go to seek my father.
My love is like steel. It bends, but it does not break.
And mine, like the blue sky. It is always there.
Oh! Is it always there? Does the night not come?
Bismillah indeed. Oh, more beautiful than the toad. But is not a woman sweeter under the night sky than in the day sky? Are not her eyes brighter, darker? Are not her lips redder, warmer?
That is, if the woman loves you.
Mir Inisa loves me.
Ah! She cannot love you, oh hairless tail of your grandmother's toothless goat.
Her beauty is made only for the gaze of my eyes, and her loveliness for the strength of my arm.
May your tongue fulfill its promise to itself, a promise that is as heavy as air.
Here indeed is your love, oh smell of fish in the mud. Being a fisherman, and not a pearl diver like you, I know better how to love. Can pearls make warm your body? Hers? But I, a fisherman, catch fish. Be there not fish in your filthy stomach right now? Fish is a life of lovers.
Fish. Fish indeed is your love. You should marry a fish.
But when a man weds, he needs to feed his wife. Is it not so? Oh, feed of a footless crab.
Are there no markets to buy fish in? You're fish and more. You're fish and food and meat.
And yet, for all that, a woman loves the fish her husband catches for
And
her.
a woman loves the pearl her husband dives to bring her.
I have closed my ears to the noise of your tongue.
It matters not, O my rival, for as long as the love of my fair Mirinisa is mine.
Yours indeed, oh too sure one, as my tongue is yours. Get away, oh tears of a horse, I shall want to kick you.
Which proves you are the horse.
Oh, I hate you, oh boisterous rascal.
And yet, I like you, O my rival. You make this love chase interesting.
I should be thrashing you.
Stop it! Stop it! Listen to me. The two of you cannot marry me. I can have but one husband.
But true. Unless my worthless rival marries you when you become my widow.
Oh, hold your tongue, Sesame. Now listen again. Let my father put the two of you into a test. He who passes the test, only he will I wed.
A test? That is fair. Therefore agreed, oh fair Mirinisa.
I too agree, O Mirinisa, O divine being.
Then it shall be as I said.
What did you notice? Yes, action and dialogue were happening right before you. You were first-hand witness to the series of events in the choice of a husband for the princess. It is clear, therefore, that drama is a literary composition intended to be acted on stage, and therefore meant to be enjoyed by a group of people, the audience. Drama is thus better appreciated when it is performed. When we teach drama, we should henceforth teach reading it with an eye towards its eventual production. In other words, imagine experiencing it in performance, even as they read and reread it. Well, you would probably ask, how can my students experience the performance when we do not even have a shadow of a theater in our school? Oh, but we can. That is, if you help them perform in the theater of their minds, in the stage of their imagination. Can you do that? Yes, you can. By first acquainting them with the kind of space where the playwright envisions them to happen. When a writer composes a play, she always has some kind of performance area in mind, and he indicates this in the beginning of a play, when he describes the stage or the setting. Through the ages, the stage has changed in shape and size, depending upon the dictates of times. It would be good to introduce some of these to your classes. Let's take a look at this class, just like the way the teacher does it in this scenario.
Now, for us to identify the placement of characters and furniture on stage as indicated by the playwright in his stage directions, then we have to be familiar, okay, with the stage or space ground, a ground plan or ground floor then on a rectangular stage. Okay, so let me draw or illustrate the stage then. So it has to be rectangular, and we'll be following the direction relative to the stance, or let's say position, where the actor is in. So who's right? If I'm going to be the actor, then this is my right, okay, stage right, and this is my stage left. Okay, so we also have to divide it. This is what we call upright and downright. This is the center of the stage. This is up left and down left. So if you see the place, or let's say, or the area nearest to the audience is the down stage, while farthest from the audience is the up stage. Is that clear? Okay, so we shall have workshops the moment we position ourselves on stage, and as you analyze plays, or let's say the characters and furniture in the plays, then a mastery of the ground floor is very important. Is that clear? Very well.
After the students have been acquainted with the acting areas, they may find it easier to position the characters and the furniture in their imagined stage. After these preliminaries, we shall be ready to examine any specific drama. Stay with us. Welcome back. We're now ready to study the play. First, let us examine the world of the play. Let's start with the setting. It is where and when the action happens. It includes the historical period, the time of day, and season of the year. It also suggests the environment, which gives us an idea of the economic status, strata of living, profession, and even religious and political beliefs of the characters. Scenery and properties provide the characters with objects necessary for action and a suitable background against which characters can play out their parts. Generally, the setting of a play is a reflection of the nature of the world, the environment of the people. How can the teacher help the students visualize this setting? Let us look at this class scenario.
Class, before we talk about the setting, may I remind you of your assignment to read about the life and works of John Millington Synge. Did you do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Now, who can tell us his life and his works, particularly the play Riders to the Sea? So this is what we are going to examine for today. Yes, Jid?
John Millington Synge was an Irish who was born in 1871 and died in 1909. He was the chief dramatist of the new Irish literary revival.
Yes.
He was able to blend Celtic romanticism with modern realism. William Butler Yeats discovered him in Paris, where he had gone after his graduation from Trinity College in Dublin. He was persuaded to go back and absorb that native tradition. Synge lived with the peasant folks of the Aran Islands, an isolated westernmost part of Ireland, which gave him knowledge of the Irish peasantry and their speech. The two most important elements of his plays, Riders to the Sea, is said to be set in the Aran Islands, where the sea is turbulent and the wind is terrible.
That's right. So now we know that the characters in the play live in that island where nature is harsh. Now, let's read the beginning description again. Okay, let's look at the setting of the play. And let's see, can somebody read it aloud? Okay, Joy.
A cottage kitchen with nets, oilskins, spinning wheel, and some new boards standing by the wall. Enter Kathleen, a girl of about 20, finishes kneading the bread and puts it down on a pot oven by the fire. Then wipes her hand and begins to spin on the wheel. Nora, a young girl, puts her head on the door.
Okay. Now, let's see if you can imagine how the cottage kitchen looks like. Okay? Let us make a cooperative drawing on the set or the structure of the kitchen. Now, but first, can somebody draw the set for us on the board? Who draws well? Okay, Joy. So, come here, Joy. And you may then also begin. So, let's see. Okay.
This is the cottage kitchen. Here's the fish net. Beside it are the oilskins. And on the farther left are the newborns. Is there anything you want to add?
Oh yes, so what else are mentioned in the beginning description of the play? Yes?
An oven and a spinning wheel.
Okay, very important. An oven, Joy,
An oven.
where shall we place them?
At the
Albert.
bottom center and at the bottom right.
Okay. Did you get
Left,
that,
bottom
Joy?
left.
Okay. Is that all? Haven't we missed anything? Okay, Jose.
The description says that Kathleen has just finished kneading some cake, so there must be a table somewhere.
Okay, tell Joy where to place the table.
Place the table somewhere in the center.
Okay, center. Let's see. Okay, we're about to complete the picture. And so if you have a table, you might as well add chairs, which notice Moria will be using later in the play. So how many chairs shall you add then? Okay, Carol?
Ma'am, I think 2 would be enough.
Okay. So Joy, kindly draw 2 chairs. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so that would probably be enough. Let's talk about and agree on entrances and exits. If you must place doors, where would you put them? So let's see, let's complete the picture now. Walter.
I think the door going out is downstage, right? And the door to the bedroom door where the mother's sleeping is upstage left.
Okay, right. But is that all? Jid.
I think there's a turf lot somewhere because that is the place where they hide the bundle, isn't it?
And so where shall we put it? Anna.
I think we should put it somewhere on the left, and the right. Upper right.
Okay. Will that be fine, Anna?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Joy. That's great. Now, from the drawing, what conclusions can you get? What do you think is the economic status of the family? What is their principal occupation? Yes, Jody.
Well, I'd say they're fishermen and farmers as well. Just look at the nets. And aside from that, Bartley kept on talking about selling the pig and the pony at the Galway Fair.
Okay, very good observation. Is there anything else you would like to add?
That's right. One way of helping your students know about the setting is for them to read about the author and how the play got to be written. But more important is to help them visualize where the events actually happen. This is done by asking them to draw the setting while leading them on with some clues. A variation of this is the floor plan, where only outlines of the furniture and other accessories are drawn in a view from above. Another is by asking them to fill up this grid. Historical period refers to year, era, or epoch. Locale refers to a specific place such as garden, balcony, kitchen, and others. Time of year could refer to the seasons, and time of day would refer to morning, noon, or night. Under furniture are listed down all materials and fixtures in the locale that would give it a distinct character all its own. These are just some of the ways that the teacher can help the students see the environment of the play. Next, we shall teach them how to perceive characters. Usually, the playwright gives the reader some preliminary description about the characters, aside from the basic physical facts, such as gender, age, size, and color. From the setting, the socio-economic status of the character is revealed. He may also be described by another character in his dialogue. His portrait may be drawn through conversations of other characters. A character may also reveal himself or herself through his or her own words. Let us see this class as it looks at character in drama.
Let us now talk about the characters in your assigned play, The World is an Apple. Who are they? Yes, Carol?
They are Mario, Gloria, and Pablo.
Good. Now, who can describe Mario like he is a next-door neighbor and tell us how much you got to know about him? Yes, Johan.
Mario is in his late 20s. He is shabbily dressed and has long hair. This description was given by the author himself. Now, anyway, he is unemployed because he was terminated from his job. He admitted this to himself, but he did not tell his wife, Gloria. It was only when Gloria asked for his salary that he was forced to tell her the truth. Even then, he did not tell her the reason why he was fired. Now, in his conversation with Gloria, I found out that his sinful fingers have always caused him trouble. Later, Gloria reveals that he is a thief and that since their marriage, she has been persuading him to forget his old ways. Now, on the other hand, Pablo tells stories on how he and Mario had much fun when they had earned some money through their dishonest way. I don't know. But, well, now they have another job, even though at first Mario denies having asked Pablo for help.
Okay. Now, that's a thorough estimate of Mario's character. Let's find out who Gloria is in the play. Who is Gloria? Yes, Jose?
Gloria is described by the playwright as somebody who is small, thin, long-haired, and about the same age as Mario is. She is a housewife and she takes care of her sick daughter. From her conversation with Mario, I can say that she sacrificed a lot just to marry Mario, whom her mother did not like for a son-in-law. After they were married, Gloria tried so hard to change Mario.
Okay, good. Now, let's look at Pablo. Who can describe Pablo? Yes, Jemeline?
Pablo is described as older than Mario, sinister-looking, well-dressed, and sarcastic. He has a lot of money which he shows to Gloria when he tries to lend her to buy medicine for her daughter. He is also crook because he says that he won't be jailed because of his connections.
Okay. Now, as we all know, characters do what they do because they have certain motives or goals. See? And they do this because of who or what they are. Now, why did Mario take that apple? Why did he go with Pablo again? Yes, Anna?
Ma'am, Mario took that apple because he wanted to give it to his daughter. Well, he could not afford to buy something like it because it was too expensive. And he believed that, his daughter deserved an apple like any other kid. So anyway, he lost his job because of what he did. His daughter got sick. They did not have anything to eat. And on top of all that, he was hopeless about everything. So I guess he didn't really have a choice but to go with Pablo.
Okay, very well said. How about Gloria? How do you find Gloria? Yes, Walter.
I think Gloria is a good woman, simple and patient. She believes that Mario is not really bad, but is only influenced by Pablo. And Gloria is willing to suffer being poor as long as Pablo stays good. And Gloria is very proud that she has changed her husband.
Okay, since you sympathize with Gloria, what about Pablo? Jody.
Pablo has always been the bad influence in Mario's life. And since he is aware that Mario is hard up for money, he was always tempting him to take a night job. I'd say Pablo was a real trouble because he even boasted about not going into jail because of his right connections.
Very good. Now, if you were a theater or movie director, whom will you cast in these roles? Okay, I would like you to imagine or think of a movie artist whom you think would fit the roles. Yes, Jose.
Ma'am, I think Jacqueline Jose would make a very good Gloria. And perhaps Christopher De Leon and Ricky Davao would make a good Mario. And perhaps Roy Vincent or Edu Manzano will make a good Pablo.
Oh, what a lineup! Yes, class. What do you think? Were the choices good? Yes. Okay. So see, now for us to have an intimate understanding about the character, I'd like you to prepare, let's say, or imagine. Okay, prepare a paper on your imagined character or role. Okay, and I would like you to prepare his or her autobiography. Okay, I would like you to also think of some imagined past events which you think would add ingredients to your paper. Okay? So let's try that. Get your papers now.
That was a lively discussion on drama characters, wasn't it? Asking students to support their answers with evidence from the text, like how they got their approximation of the characters, is a good practice. With such evidence, we can be sure that they won't stray too far from the playwright's intention. Next, we shall work on the understanding of the plot. Don't go away. I'm glad you stayed with us. Now, let's talk of the plot. The plot is not the story. It is the arrangement of a series of events that make up the story in the play. It is the structural device that is used to give a single unified form and meaning to dramatic action. It is the overall flow of a play. There are two types of plot. The first is organic. It consists of scenes which are arranged according to chronological sequence. The events continuously take place as a consequence of the previous action. Absence of one scene will make the flow of the play incomplete and incomprehensible. Second, the episodic. It consists of a series of episodes where the theme develops and characters interact unitedly as the play progresses. Each episode has its own setting, climax, and at times, resolution. Therefore, a complete story in itself that can be presented separately. The plot as framework of the action has a structure. By structure, we mean the sequence by which the story is presented. Plot is usually divided into three major parts: the beginning, the middle, and the end. The beginning usually gives the details of the place, the geographical location, social and cultural or political background, time or period when the event happened. This is called the setting. Beginning involves exposition. Exposition is the revelation of the identity of all characters, the exposure of a secret, mystery, or past incident that happened prior to, but related to the existing problem or crisis. This is antecedent. Point of attack is that point where a playwright starts his story. There are two ways of starting a story. First, the unfolding plot. Here, the playwright begins his dramatic action at the point near the climax, conclusion, or end. Most of the important events which lead to the climax had already happened and are slowly being revealed through dialogue and actions of the characters as the play progresses. Second, the accretive plot. It is also the early point of attack. The story here is presented according to its chronological sequence, that is, from the very first incident to its climactic order. The middle is composed of a series of complications, which are incidents that change and alter the direction of action. Complications may arise from the discovery of a new information, the unexpected change of plan, the need to choose between two courses of action, or introduction of new ideas which can create problems to destabilize the situation, narrowing probability for action leading to the crisis, also called the turning point. Crisis is the peak of suspense in the series of incidents which leads to the obligatory scene. The obligatory scene is the open clash between two opposing characters or forces. It is where the highest conflicting interest or goal of the protagonist and antagonist are clearly shown, leading to discovery. Discovery is the revelation of things which are previously unknown. Such revelation may be discovered through A. Objects. An example is the discovery of a weapon used for murder. Next, persons. An instance would be a girl finding out that her boyfriend is her half-brother. Next, facts. An example is that the reason for a mother putting her child in a foster home to keep her from getting hurt by an abusive father. Next, values. A woman discovers that love is more important than material comfort. Next, self-discovery. A most effective discovery is when a man discovers that his selfishness and materialism are the cause of his own unhappiness. Finally, we reach the ending. This is the third major part, which brings the situation back to equilibrium and satisfies the audience. This extends to the final curtain, where peace is completely returned. Here's how we can help our students determine the plot. Let's take some cues from this classroom scene.
Class, how did you like the play Riders to the Sea? Okay, very well. Yes, Jody?
Ma'am, the story is so tragic. Imagine all the sons and male members of the family died at sea.
Okay, very well. Notice, it has been said that drama is a show of conflict. So what forces or wills are in opposition? Yes, Jemelyn.
Ma'am, Maurya the mother and Bartley the only living son.
Ah, why did you say that?
Because Maurya didn't like Bartley to go to the Galway Fair in another island.
Okay, that's good, Jemelyn. Do you agree with her, class? Yes. Do you think that's the main conflict? Yes, I think so. Okay, right. Yes, Jose.
Ma'am, I think the real reason why Maurya did not want Bartley to go was that she was afraid that Bartley would drown like all her other sons. So therefore, she's afraid of the sea.
Okay, so notice, and that also reinforced, okay, the fact then that Even before Bartley decided to go away, Moria was already anxious because another son, Michael, was missing at sea for 9 days. So, now, are you trying to say then that the forces in opposition are between Moria and the sea? Yes, Walter.
Yes, it is. It has always been man against nature. It is a fact that Maria cannot accept that the sea has always been the cause of her deaths in her family.
Okay, very good. Now, did Moria finally have peace of mind? Yes, Carol?
Ma'am, I think she did. It was when Bartley was died and she learned about Michael, that he was already found and was buried in the Donegal.
Okay, what a fine play. Now, you are familiar with comic strips that tell complete stories, let's say in 4 or 5 boxes, aren't you?
Yes,
Okay, so that is exactly what you are going to do. I'd like you to trace or plot, okay, the line of action or plot of the play. Okay, by doing so, I would like you to group yourselves into 3 as I distribute the grid. Okay, or story grid or play grid which we have here. Okay, so group yourselves into 3. Let's have group works now. Okay. Yes. So this time, okay, I'd like you to trace the plot or line of action of the play by classifying or filling in each box then of which event, okay, fits each place or each area. As you have it, as you work on this, I'd like you to draw, or if you cannot, you can also describe in words each setting that would fit each box. Okay, for us to trace the plot of Riders to the Sea. Okay, so later on, I'd like you to choose and agree among yourselves who will be reporting in class. Whatever project or output you'll be coming up with. Okay, so let's see. Are you ready, class?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's see what Albert's group has done.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and yes, Albert, show it and explain it to the class.
Yes, the antecedent action is that all male members of the family died at sea. And the initial problem was that Michael has been lost for 9 days here. And the complication is that Bartley also wants to go to another island by boat. And the crisis happens when Maoria tries to stop Bartley from going out to sea. Okay. And the turning point is that Bartley leaves and he drowns too. And though Maoria has no more sons left for him to take care for her.
And that made everything tragic.
Yeah, and the result is that Maoria finally accepts her fate, that all her sons are dead already.
Okay, very well presented. Let's give him a big hand.
From such a discussion, theme may be derived. We'll do that as well as discuss style and types of drama after this station break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. The theme is a term that signifies the dramatized thought of the play, the unifying element. It is the argument, the overall meaning or significance of the action. It unifies drama around a central idea, motive, or concept. The meaning of a play is discovered in the relationship among characters, the conflicting idea as presented in their dialogues and resolution. Hence, theme defines the problem, emphasizes the moral judgment, and suggests some attitude or course of action that will help eliminate the problem in an acceptable way. Let us see how this class attempts to find a theme in their dramatic selection.
Class, we have finished learning about your favorite characters through the biographies you have written. And we have also diagrammed the plot in this grid. Okay, so now, let's try to look at the conflict which the protagonist, Mario, okay, from the play The World is an Apple, goes through. And also let us take note of the things he does and he says in the play. Shall we start?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so notice you already have the mastery of all of the elements of the play, so the work will be easy for sure. Yes, Anna?
First, Mario's character's job, since he's accused of stealing an apple, which he claims just fell from the crate, and he wanted to give it to his daughter.
Okay, right. And may I also add then that it took Mario so many months then, too long for him to get that job of stevedoring at the docks. Okay, what happened then? Yes, Jeed?
He was unsuccessful in looking for a job for a week. He kept this as a secret from his wife Gloria, who soon found out and was suspicious of the reason why he lost his job.
Ah, what did she suspect? Why was she suspicious? Yes, Albert.
Well, I think that she's suspicious about his husband because
About
in the
her
past,
husband?
yeah, in the
Uh-huh.
past before they were married, they Mario already had records of stealing, and in fact that's also the reason why Gloria's mother didn't like Mario for her.
Ah, so what did Mario say? Yes, Jose?
He said that Tita only wanted the big red apple and he wanted to give the big apple to Tita. He also said that God created apples not only for the rich, but for everyone.
Good. What happened then? Yes, Carol.
Pablo came saying that he was just visiting, but Gloria doesn't like him because he's a bad influence to Mario. But Pablo said it was Mario came to him because he needed money for his sick child.
So what happened next? Did Mario admit this? Yes, Walter?
No, at first he did not. But then Gloria realized that the job Mario was talking about, that the night job that Mario was talking about was the night job with Pablo. And Gloria asked Mario not to go, but he chose to go anyway.
Right. Now, what do you say are the intentions of Mario in the beginning? What does he want? Okay, and did he achieve or accomplish that goal? Yes, Jemeline?
He tried to be good as Gloria wanted him to be. He wanted to work and give his family a nice life and simple joys like giving his daughter a big red apple. But on the other hand, he wasn't successful in doing this because he lost his job and therefore he had to find another work. When he failed to do so, he had to go with Pablo and be a cook again.
I see. So who or what is in conflict? Yes, Jose?
Pablo and Gloria were. Mario was in the middle and he had to make a choice.
So what do these characters represent? Yes, Anna?
Good and bad characters.
Okay, now, when Mario chose to go with Pablo, does it mean then that he also is considered as bad? Yes, Jody?
Well, I don't really think that Mario is bad because he only went with with Pablo. It's because there was nothing he could do. But if he were given the chance to do so, I know that deep inside, Mario has always wanted to be good.
Ah, so does the playwright say that one should do or follow evil because he's not given the chance? Let's see, what do you think of it? Yes, Jemeline.
No, ma'am. Maybe what he was trying to say is that Mario is not really bad, but was just forced to do something bad because of a strong need. And people are also forced to do something evil because there is no one to turn to.
Exactly. That may be one of the statements which Florentino is trying to make us realize. Now, did you find any other significant lines which you think the author or the playwright wants us to remember? You can read from your notes. Yes, Anna.
Did God create apple trees to bear fruit for the rich alone? Didn't He create the whole world for everyone? That's why I tried to bring home the apple for Tita. When we brought her into this world, we sort of promised her everything she had a right to have in life.
Good. Now, what could that possibly mean? Yes, Jose?
It may mean that everybody has a right to a good life and that everybody should get equal chances. But sadly, they do not.
Okay, very well. Now, let's look at the title. What does the title, The World is an Apple, suggest? Yes, Jeed? Okay, so you may organize. Yes, Albert. Walter, sorry.
Ma'am, I think the world is an apple. The apple is like the world, like Mario said, because we should all have equal rights and to what this world has for us. We must have equal rights.
Okay, definitely. So very well. So look, as we examine the title, the conflict, and the characters, also remembering the important lines that may struck us, then the full appreciation of the play would come into the scene. See? So the more we master these elements, the more we come to appreciate the play. Okay? So good.
That was a very helpful discussion on theme, wasn't it? Examining the relationships of characters, looking at their meaningful lines, symbolic representations, and looking at the title are just some of the ways in discovering the theme. Style in drama refers to the quality which results from a characteristic mode of expression of the method of presentation. It may also refer to the playwright's standpoint or outlook in life. There are two major dramatic attitudes. They are realism and non-realism. Realism is lifelike. Things are presented as real as they can be. Drama that are set in near-life places with dialogue sounding like everyday conversation are said to be realistic. Non-realism is the stylized method of presentation, whereby an artist can make use of his or her wildest imagination in projecting his or her ideas. This may present scenes that are fantastic, imaginative, set in faraway places and times, or covering long periods of time, while the dialogue is in song or poetry. The basic types of drama are tragedy and comedy. A tragedy is a serious look at life, where the hero sets to do something basically good but fails catastrophically in the end, although he has put up a valiant fight. Comedy is a play that evokes laughter because the hero or protagonist who sets to do something, although he or she meets obstacles along the way, he or she hurdles them, though clumsily, and attains his or her goal. Derived from these two are the melodrama and farce. Melodrama, derived from tragedy, is rather exaggerated and concentrates on action. Farce, on the other hand, creates laughter through gross exaggeration of incident and character. Serious drama has a general tone to seriousness, but does not provide a catastrophic conclusion for the chief character. The conclusion can be hopeful, and so after a thorough understanding of the play, the class may be encouraged to stage it or do a dramatic reading for deeper appreciation. Before I give you a recap of today's episode, let's take a break first. Don't go away. Welcome once again. We are now ready for the recap. In this episode, we said that drama is both literature and theater because it is written to be performed. It is witnessed event, a story told in dialogue and action. When we begin to teach drama, it would be helpful to acquaint our students with the staging spaces. Then we can proceed to familiarize them with the elements. The setting, which is the world of the play. The characters, who are the people that make things happen, or to whom things happen. The plot, which is the arrangement of events that make up the structure of drama. The theme, which is the idea that the play wishes to communicate. The style, which is the manner in which the events are presented, and the type is dependent upon the treatment of the playwright on the protagonist, as well as the spirit or mood that the play exhibits. In teaching these elements, we can use the strategies for theatrical production preparation as fun ways of better understanding and appreciation. In the next episode, we shall talk about the teaching of poetry. Until then, this is your host, Nanette Kusu Montealegre, saying goodbye and happy dramatic reading.